The blistering heat wave that is sweeping through vast parts of the country intensified today, with the mercury crossing 45 degrees in several places. New records, in fact, are being broken every single day. Delhi, sweltering in a dangerous early summer heat wave, recorded its second hottest April in 72 years. Hottest cities included Prayagraj at 46.8, that's 7 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Sri Ganganagar at 6 degrees above normal. Gurugram at 45.6 was 6 degrees above normal as well. And across north, central and western parts of the country, temperatures soaring to 45 degrees and above. So why is the heat wave this year really standing out? Well, we're seeing those records tumble day after day. Prayagraj, as we said, hitting 47 degrees, Gurgaon at 45.6, Delhi heading to its hottest April. But that's not the only thing. It's the length of this heat wave that is perhaps the most serious aspect of it all. For over 6 weeks and counting, many of these cities have now seen a continuous heat wave where temperatures have been close to 5 degrees above what is normal for this time of the year. And it's running a vast swathe through India and parts of Pakistan. What's worse is that there's going to be no respite for the next couple of weeks or so. Divya Wadhwa tells us more.
Temperatures are over 43 degrees in many parts of the country, and the big question being, is there any respite in sight? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but there's no respite over the next 2 weeks. According to the Met Office, as far as heatwave conditions are concerned, they're likely to prevail in the weeks ahead from Punjab to Madhya Pradesh, including Delhi. There's going to be no significant change as far as the maximum temperature is concerned in the north as well as central parts of the country, which is right now in the range of 43 to about 46 degrees. So what's led to these oppressive temperatures is the anti-cyclonic conditions that are prevailing, along with lack of rain. In fact, when we take into account from the 1st of March till now, there's been a massive rain deficit, about 87% in northwest India and a 70% deficit in central parts of the country. It's only the east where it's been raining, and more is expected in the days and weeks ahead. When we look at the weather forecast from the 5th of May, heatwave conditions will be felt in the northern and central parts of the country, including parts of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha as well.
Amid that heat wave, India's peak power demand touching an all-time high, in fact breaking a new record that was set just 48 hours ago. Power shortage has risen to 31% in just 2 days. In an emergency move, the centre today cancelled 42 passenger trains to make way for trains that will rush coal supplies to power plants. The Delhi government has also warned it has just 1 day of coal supplies left, and that could force blackouts in hospitals, even the Delhi metro.
Across large parts of India, a confluence of multiple crises, from climate change and heat waves to power cuts and protests. In Uttar Pradesh, Prayagraj crossed 47 degrees, 6 degrees above normal. Farmers protesting long power cuts in Punjab, they say 14-hour power cuts in some places. In Amritsar, farmers gherawed the residence of the power minister.
ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਪੱਧਰੀ ਸੰਕਟ ਆ। ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਏਡਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਰਬਨ ਸਪਲਾਈ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਘਰੇਲੂ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ 14-14 ਘੰਟੇ ਕੱਟ ਲੱਗੇ ਹੋਣ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਫਸਲਾਂ ਵਾ, ਚਾਹੇ ਸਬਜ਼ੀਆਂ ਵਾ, ਗੰਨਾ ਵਾ, ਮੱਕੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਹਰਾ ਚਾਰਾ ਸੜ ਗਿਆ।
ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਮੁਕਾਬਲੇ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਸੂਬੇ ਵਿੱਚ 40% ਵਧੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਸਥਿਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਠੀਕ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਹਤ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਾਸੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਰੋਪੜ ਥਰਮਲ ਪਲਾਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਖਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਤਲਵੰਡੀ ਪਲਾਂਟ ਕੱਲ ਸਵੇਰ ਤੱਕ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ।
In Bihar, the ruling BJP alliance admits to a massive shortfall in electricity.
कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, ऑल ओवर दी कंट्री प्रॉब्लम है, बिहार में भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन उसको हम लोग कर रहे हैं लगभग 1000 मेगावाट की।
In Delhi, an SOS by the state government saying there is only a day's coal supply left. The capital has thermal power plants. The last one was shut down because of air pollution.
देखिए, पूरे देश के अंदर कोयले की बहुत भयंकर कमी है, और उसका सबसे बड़ा कारण है कि जो रेलवे के रैक हैं, जो ट्रेन्स होती हैं, वो अवेलेबिलिटी कम है, कोई बैकअप नहीं है, बिजली को स्टोर करके नहीं रखा जाता, बिजली डेली बनती है। आज काफ़ी सारे प्लांट्स के ऊपर एक दिन से भी कम का कोयला बचा है। तो ये तो जो बनाने वाले हैं केंद्र सरकार को ही देखना है इसमें तो।
However, the central-run NTPC, which supplies power to the National Capital Region, reacted, saying all 6 units of Dadri and 5 units of Unchahar are running at full capacity and receiving regular coal supplies. But today, in an emergency move, the centre cancelled 42 passenger trains to make way for coal ferrying trains. Across the country, as the heat wave is worsening, so is the power crisis because of insufficient coal supplies to power plants. The power shortage has risen to 31% in the last 2 days. 1/3 of the major thermal power plants across the country are struggling with just 10% of coal stock. India's power demand hit a record 204.6 gigawatts, the old record being broken in just 48 hours.
The tragic irony is burning more coal may solve immediate power crisis, but will worsen climate crisis, which experts say creates such long and intense heat waves. The heat wave for much of India's population is likely to last for next few days, if not for weeks.
The prevailing heat wave has worsened the situation. In the national capital, the fire servicemen are fighting to douse fire at one of the biggest landfills for the 4th straight day. Though the fire has been brought under control for now, with the mercury set to rise in the coming days, the authorities can expect many more such infernos this summer. An NDTV Bureau report.
Well, India's power situation right now is not unlike Sri Lanka, where massive power blackouts and an all-out economic crisis had forced the Rajapakse government to declare a national emergency. Well, today, Sri Lanka's president agreed to replace his older brother, Mahinda Rajapakse, as prime minister in a proposed interim government to solve the political impasse there. Now, this was according to a prominent lawmaker who gave those details. President Gotabaya Rajapakse agreeing that a national council will be appointed to name a new prime minister and cabinet, which will have all parties in parliament. It's been a year since the devastating second wave of the COVID pandemic left behind a trail of death and destruction. A family on the outskirts of Lucknow saw 8 members die in just 24 days, a cremation every 3rd day. A year on, the remaining members of the Yadav family say it's been very hard to move on. Memories of this time last year continue to haunt them. Alok Pandey and Rajesh Gupta with that report.
The stark, devastating emptiness inside this once full of life village home on the outskirts of Lucknow, where 8 people from a joint family died in 24 days, or a death every 3 days, during the killer second wave of the COVID pandemic. Among the members of the Yadav family who died, 2 sisters, their 4 brothers, their mother and paternal aunt. Some of them gasping for oxygen at a private hospital, some at home. Seema Singh Yadav, whose 45-year-old husband Nirankar Singh, a farmer, died in hospital, says getting through the year has been as traumatic as the deaths. A year on, her biggest concern, educating her 19 and 21-year-old sons. Her elder son is a student of fashion design in Hyderabad. The younger one has appeared for his class 12 exams and helps at the farm.
वो बहुत चिल्ला रहे थे कि हमको ऑक्सीजन बढ़ाइए, हमसे बार बार कह रहे थे कि डॉक्टर के पास जाइए और भैया को भी बुलाइए कि ऑक्सीजन का लेवल और बढ़ाइए। लेकिन सर हम बोल रहे थे कि डॉक्टर से कि सर बढ़ा दीजिए, तो उन्होंने बोले कि एक बार तो बढ़ा दिया, फिर वो हमसे क्या बोले कि जाओ जल्दी, हम सांस बिल्कुल नहीं ले पा रहे हैं। तो हमने कहा सर आइए, ये जो है ऑक्सीजन और बढ़ा रही है। तो उन्होंने कहा अभी ये भी मिलेगी, ये भी नहीं मिलेगी। तो हमसे बोले कि क्या डॉक्टर कह रहे हैं? हमने कहा कि वो तुमको नहीं कह रहे, दूसरे को बोल रहे हैं। फिर इसके बाद वो ऑक्सीजन के लिए सोच लो तड़प तड़प के हमारे सामने उनकी जान निकल गई। हम लोगों के लिए तो एक एक दिन काटना बहुत मुश्किल हो गई। हम लोग यही है कि बच्चों के सारे सोच लो जी रहे हैं। बड़ा वाला तो मेरा भैया हैदराबाद में है। अच्छा। वो बोल रहा था कि हम नहीं जाएंगे, मम्मी तुमको कहाँ से पढ़ाओगी? तो हमने सोचा कि भैया हम लोग के साथ जो होना तो हो गया, अपने आने वाली जिंदगी मत बर्बाद करो।
Kusma Devi's husband, Vijay Kumar Singh, was also a farmer and the eldest sibling. Mr. Singh died after a 10-day struggle in a private hospital. Kusma is now in charge of the home and says the government did give compensation, but the future has her worried.
भगवान करे किसी को ये दिन ना आए जो हम लोगों के साथ हुआ है। भले गरीबी रहे, कम खाए, एक टाइम खाए, लेकिन ये दुख न झेलना पड़े जो हम लोग सहे हैं। कभी ऐसा नहीं देखा था। आगे भी हमको लगता है कि कैसे हम लोग घर संभालेंगे, बच्चों को संभालेंगे, कैसे पढ़ा पाएंगे। दो औरतें हैं बस, कैसे इनका खर्चा बच्चों का संभालेंगे, कैसे इनकी शादी बारात करेंगे।
The silence in this home has been very difficult to reconcile with for the family who lost so many of their near and dear ones. Last year was a terrible time for all of us, and it's been difficult to cope, not only for this family, but for everyone who suffered in the devastating second wave of the COVID pandemic. One only hopes that we do not get to see such times ever again. With camera person Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
For so many families, a year on, a time for remembrance and a fervent hope that those dark days are behind us. Well, the devastation of the second wave may be over, but the pandemic isn't, and India reported over 3,000 new COVID cases for the second straight day. 3,377 cases to be precise. That's a 2.2% rise in 24 hours. There were 60 deaths reported in the same time period, a 53.8% jump. Curfew has been imposed in Punjab's Patiala until Saturday morning. There's tension after the police fired in the air while trying to avert a clash between members of a Shiv Sena group led by Harish Singla, who had in fact called for a march against pro-Khalistani elements and Sikh activists and Nihangs outside the Kali Mata temple in the city. The Shiv Sena's Punjab unit has now expelled this man, Singla, who gave a call for that march. And Prime Minister Modi hosted a Sikh delegation today, addressing them at his residence in Delhi. He said Sikhs, especially expats, had facilitated India's strong links with the global community. He has met members of the Sikh community at frequent intervals for some time now. He also recently addressed the nation from the Red Fort to mark the 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Seven people have been arrested in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya for attempting to disturb the peace of the city. They reportedly threw objectionable posters and objects at mosques in the town. 4 more people who were involved in that incident are missing.
An incident-free Friday namaz in Temple Town, Ayodhya, amid tight security days before the Eid festival, but just in the nick of time. After the UP police arrested these 7 men for throwing objectionable posters, objects and torn pages of religious texts outside 3 mosques and a shrine in the town on Wednesday night, an attempt to incite a riot. The name of the main accused is Mahesh Kumar Mishra, and all of the accused are from Ayodhya. This CCTV footage from outside a over 100-year-old mosque shows a man throwing what appear to be torn pages outside the mosque. The man is wearing a skull cap, but police have said all arrested men are Hindus. The Ayodhya police say 3 accused have a prior criminal record. The main accused Mishra has 4 cases against him, including promoting enmity between groups and criminal intimidation. The provocation for the incident was the recent communal clash in Delhi's Jahangirpuri, according to the UP police.
जो आपत्तिजनक चीजें इन्होंने फेंकी थी उसमें जरूर इस बात का जिक्र किया था, क्योंकि वो घटना त्योहार पे हुई थी, तो उसी एक तरह से उद्देश्य उससे कनेक्ट करते हुए इनका उद्देश्य था कि ये त्योहार भी जो है हम लोग इसमें प्रभावित करें और यहाँ पे कानून व्यवस्था जो है.
It is not clear if these arrested men have any political affiliation. Police sources say the main accused runs a fringe outfit and all others are members, but no link has been found to any major organization so far. With Pramod Srivastav, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Independent Gujarat MLA Jigensh Mevani today alleged that the ruling BJP, by using a woman to frame a case against him, had done a cowardly thing. Those comments coming hours after he was granted bail by a court in Assam in a case of alleged assault on a woman constable of the Assam police. He was arrested in that case on the 25th of April, just after he was granted bail by another court in Assam in a case over tweets on Prime Minister Modi.
Jigensh, you are finally a free man after 9 days of custody. What is your first reaction?
I'm free now, and I respect Indian judiciary, and I always felt that sooner or later I will come out. But the manner in which the Assam police has targeted me, it is not simple. It must have happened upon the instruction of their political bosses operating from PMO. And I'm still proud of the tweet that I did. You are targeting me like this? This is nothing but a conspiracy. And this has not gone well amongst Dalit masses. This has not gone well among the people of Gujarat. They have been closely following this case. They will have to pay the price for it. और जो दूसरा केस किया, एक महिला को आगे किया, इतना कायर था. सरकार खुद महिला को आगे करके किसी एमएलए के खिलाफ एफआईआर करवाइए. इससे बड़ी कायरता क्या हो सकती है? Such a coward act it is. So both the cases completely false, frivolous, filed against me with malice in mind, with malafide intentions.
In other news, markets fell over 2% in 1 month, with March core sector growth slowing to 4.3% versus 6% in February, a slowdown in 5 of the 8 constituents that make up this core data. Congress leader Shashi Tharoor has waded into an online furor over Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's posture while participating in a video conference with Prime Minister Modi. While the BJP attacked Mr. Kejriwal, calling him uncouth, Shashi Tharoor has taken aim at both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party chief through this poem.